Daphne St. Clair Ferguson, and I am so excited to be in the lovely Assembly Theater with Bird on stage. Now, wow, they've got jazz hands and everything, people. These guys are organized. All right, if you could we go down the line, introduce yourselves, your role on the project? I'd love to hear from you.
Gotcha.
Hi, my name is Alice, and I'm part of the ensemble.
Nice. Hi, my name is Robert Leitner. I am the co-director and a part of the ensemble as well.
Hi, my name is Garrett. I am co-director as well. I also am the playwright of the piece.
Hello, my name is Tipolo. I'm also in the ensemble, and I do marketing and communications here.
Hello, my name is Natalie. I'm part of the ensemble.
We're going to do a little dance today, I think. I think I'll stand at the back and hand the mic to people as we go along. All right, we're choreographing things here. So if you could you tell me a bit about Pigeon? Talk to me a bit about the show. I'll give it to our playwright first. Why not?
For sure. So Pigeon is a piece that our company has kind of been chewing on for a number of years. We did this for the first time. The play was written back in 2016, 17. It's been a very long time. We performed the piece as a company in On the Edge Fringe in North Bay in 2019. And then this version is sort of a revamped version. It's extended, sort of some new framing on things. And I'd say, generally speaking, the piece, it is say like a comedic gothic horror type piece, very absurdist, very surrealist, and it delves into themes of loneliness and intergenerational trauma and desperately seeking out connection, I would say, is the kind of core way to sum it up. I don't know if you as a co-director...
Really, you kind of killed it, to be honest with you. So
All right.
speechless.
Beauty. Okay, well, there you go.
This show will leave you speechless. You heard it here first, folks. Wow, I can't even speak today. I'm mumbling all my words. I'm so speechless, I can't speak. Here we go. All right, and how does this fit into the realm of Canadian theater, the landscape of Canadian theater? What is Canadian theater?
That's a very good question. I think Canadian theater is definitely a really broad category and something that we're still wrestling with. I think as a company, we are dually rooted both in Toronto and Northern Ontario. A lot of our recent works have been focused on the landscape of Northern Ontario, delving maybe more into that Canadiana, blue-collar type feeling. So this is sort of a change in directions for us. This piece is firmly rooted in Toronto, takes place in sort of a surrealist version of North York. And I would say, what makes it Canadian is, it's a hard question to answer beyond the fact that we're just, doing it here in Canada and rooting it in Canada, but I think it's going to be something that is recognizable, at least for people that are living in a city like Toronto, where it's so big you can almost start to feel isolated based on how many people are in it. So that's something we've been really playing with a lot. And it's also firmly, we're as a company, we're a Jewish-led company. It bleeds into a lot of themes of, Jewish folklore and Jewish mythology, and that's also firmly rooted in the Jewish experience in North York as well. I don't know if you want to add anything there.
Yeah. I think with this play as well, what makes it so, Canadian and what is Canadian theater is I really find that it's set in North York, but it really doesn't matter. You could set this play in, Vancouver. You could set it in Northern Ontario. You could do out east as well. And it all still touches on that same theme of what it means to not have connection or to lose that connection, which I think, especially in this day and age, post-COVID, the Canadian theater scene is almost begging to be back and connected again. And I think it's really going in that way. So I just hope that, this play can also push it further as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. I love these themes of connection, and I'd like to connect two other things to this. You talk about rooting this in Canada, but then you also speak on influences of Beckett and Hitchcock, Irish and English creators. So if you could talk to me a bit about those influences and how now they've become innately Canadian to you.
I think that the play Garrett and I both have grown up like loving horror movies and being so in tune with specifically things like Hitchcock, and you go to theater school and you learn so much about Beckett as well, right? So it's almost inherently like you go to theater school, like most of us went to York, and that was almost one of the first things we got taught was about Beckett, and the Hitchcock really came in because I find that the style and what we're doing and the character of John is a massive like movie buff who really loves old movies and a lot of like Hitchcock. I also think this play almost lends itself like to Hitchcock's movie The Birds, which is about birds becoming sentient and wanting to kill everyone, which I feel like might be a spoiler for the play. I don't know if you have anything else to say, or if anyone else has anything they want to say as well.
The only thing that I would add is on this sort of nebulous idea of Canadian theater, I think, as a country, we are made up of a lot of people from all over the world. So these influences naturally come from different places, and they take this new shape in the Canadian landscape. So I think it's absolutely rooted from, like you said, influences elsewhere, Irish, English, and beyond. But it all kind of melds together to become this uniquely Canadian work, I think.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything you want to say? No? Beautiful.
We're all a little shy, but the two in the middle. Oh. I'd also like to touch back on something you mentioned earlier about this being partly a surreal North York. So what to you is surreal about North York, and where can we see that in this show?
I'll take it. I think that the surreal North York that this play provides, I and Garrett as well, and I think all of us actually, all either used to or still live in North York. And at least my experience that it was a very community-based area, a lot of public parks that you could go to. It's not super hard to get around. There's a lot of local shops as well that really bring that community. And I think this play specifically focuses on it in a surreal way, but like things that you would normally see walking around North York are in this show, but slightly different and in a weird modified way. Yeah. You.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I think, and then also it's, I mean, this is true for many of the neighborhoods in Toronto, but like you said, it's drawing from our experience of actually living in North York, and I think there's a lot of very interesting characters that make up the landscape of the area, and we've sort of taken some of these more surreal type people that already actually exist and then like dial them up to 100, like elevate them. So I think the surrealness is very much so rooted in the characters that occupy our North York that is in the play.
Everyone in this show is someone that you would see walking down a street anywhere around North York. Like it really is that the people are what personify the landscape. Yeah. What, any of you like to touch on that as characters? Cool.
Still a little shy. We'll get there. We're building up to it. And so do you think that having these characters kind of enhances that connectedness of the community when audiences come to see it?
For sure. I think all the characters in this show are quite lovable, or at least maybe not lovable, but but are at least quirky enough. They're accepting, and I think the audience will receive them quite well. The three, Tippolo, Alice, and Natalie, do a fantastic job with the characters, and they really bring them to life and send them, just off the stage and hopefully into people's minds forever.
So talk to me then a bit. We're going to move away from being shy. Talk to me a little bit about the acting of that and how you do invite audiences to these maybe surreal characters.
I can speak to that a little bit, and this is sort of touching on the previous question as well. I have a big group coming to see this show who are also from North York, so I think they will very much relate to a lot of these characters, and sort of find things that they recognize. Sorry, what was your question again?
Talk to me a bit about how you're inviting the audience to these surreal characters through your acting, performance, or whatever else you might think is important.
So we definitely take a sort of, I mean, of course, it's a storytelling approach, but in the sense that there is a part of the play in which we talk directly to the audience, and it begins with this sort of story about North York itself that I think the audience will relate to and sort of will hook them into the rest of the play. If anyone else has anything to add.
Pass that down. Assembly.
Yeah. So I think like they're all like, as we were saying, like characters that we would like people we'd find in real life, but like personified at like 110%. Like they're like the common like attributes of like anyone you would see walking around, but take that and make it a caricature, and really like push the limit with them to just like really that's how like the comedy within this like really dark tale really comes alive and like shoots beyond. And I think it'll be interesting to see how like the audiences receive it, because it is like quite a horrific tale. However, you find yourself laughing throughout it, so it's this uncomfortable comfortability with your self and like just being in a good community. And I also feel like the space really will add to it because it's such an intimate theater that it will like really just help with like feeling the community and connection with all of us here. You want to say anything?
Yeah, sure. It's basically what Diplo just said, but for me, the characters that I play, I feel like they're very much caricatures, but not to the point where it's not believable. Like they still feel real, just at like 110. And just excited to show the hard work we've been putting.
If I may add one thing, I think what also makes the show so accessible to an audience is the fact that like the people you see, the characters that you see in the show are people that you see every day. There's the old lady who's feeding the pigeons. There's the pet shop owner. There's the local rabbi. There's a bunch of these people that pop in and out of the show that are things and people that you see every single day around you. So yeah.
Lovely. And speaking of community, you folks had an open mic night as a part of your fundraising. Is that correct? Yes. And you mentioned, quote, "This is more than a mic night, it's a movement." Talk to me about what that movement is. How is this different than a regular mic night?
Sure. For me, I can only speak really to Garrett and I for this. But being from the North, and both of our like theater careers and hobby really started from this small town community that really invited us in, but at times was almost a little cliquey. And once we kind of left the North, we felt like we almost got, in a way, annexed from that community. Like we got separated, and you're never allowed back kind of vibe. So one of our big things as a company, obviously it was a fundraiser for Pigeon, but one of our things that we really care about is building that community, especially because like as a lot of us are York graduates, that's what made York so special to us as well, was how connected all the different streams were, how connected everyone across the whole program was. And I think that was something that we just really wanted to keep going, and that's kind of what we mean by movement.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was one of the most exciting things I've probably done, like setting up this event, creating this event, doing the event. What we really wanted to grab out of that event is like to create this sense of community, which we've all been talking about. But more than that, because I feel like in this day and age, it's really difficult as like an independent creator to really kind of find a place to share your work and share your voice. We wanted it to make like an opportunity for anyone in any artist discipline, like whether you were a visual artist or dancer or singer or actor, anything, to just have a stage where you can share your artistry. And I think that's just so important to just feel the connection with all of us, and that's how we keep this community and this indie theater scene like alive. And it's really just important that we all get to keep knowing each other and meeting new people and supporting each other's work through all aspects of everything, because there's so many people who we found out shows that they're having that we'll go to theirs, and it's just keeping this like this world of indie theater alive and running.
Yeah, it's, I mean, really, like, to be honest with you, I think it really comes down to as well that we just, like, we're building friendships, right? Like, this whole sense of it, like, if we're all in this as a career, might as well like each other, you know? So, fingers crossed, but yeah.
And did you have a thought there at the end?
Oh, sorry.
It's all right, Robert. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, it was basically what everyone said, but it was my first open mic night as well. And I don't know, for me, like in theater school, they talked so much about networking, and not only did I not want to do that, but like I didn't even really know what it meant. And then being at the open mic, even though like I was busy helping and stuff, and I didn't necessarily have time to talk and introduce myself, like I feel like for me, networking has now become just witnessing other people's work. So yeah, it was really cool. It makes me want to do open mics all the time. And yeah, that's all I had to say.
Just to add one last thing. I live far away. I was unable to actually make it for the open mic. As we said, we're dually rooted in Toronto. I live in Sault Ste. Marie. This is a little bit of a schlep up, but anyway, I think as a company, one of our goals is while we have been producing our own work, one of the goals, especially as we're trying to grow into the community here, is to be giving more people opportunities. So I hope in the future, one, we can do more events like the open mic, but two, we can be producing other people's work, especially people that might not have the networks in place or might be unsure where to start. There are so many people out there with stories to tell, and we'd love to start doing more of that and giving people opportunities to do so.
I think this is a wonderful segue into one of my big questions, which is on goals or on other things, but what do you want to do with your life?
Loaded question.
I told you it was a big one.
Should we go down the line?
Yeah, I think we should go down the line.
Wow, okay, I'm really being put on the spot here. I mean, basically this. I'm at this point in my life where I'm just trying out a bunch of stuff, and I love acting, and I would love for this to be my full-time career and be paid handsomely for it. Fingers crossed. But mostly I just want to do a bunch of random stuff, including this.
Awesome. I feel like mine's not that far off either. I want to be able to do this as a career. Want to be able to be happy and, have a nice life where, I think the end goal for Garrett Tiplow and I, as people that run the company, is to be able to have this company be a force in the Canadian theater landscape. To keep building. I think our long term, but short term, is to be able to maybe open up our own space, our own theater space with an office and our own stage. I think that's kind of what I want to do with my life right now.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. Obviously, we're on the same page. I would add, we would hopefully like to keep doing this in our two regions. It's basically from the time that I moved to Toronto, and I lived here for 7 years around there. I loved living here, but I grew up in Northern Ontario. It's where I was really shaped as a person, and I want to keep being able to do work here because I do love it here, and half of our company is rooted here. But I also want to be able to keep doing work in Northern Ontario because the infrastructure is unfortunately not at the same level as it is here. We don't have space like indie spaces like this. There are, we can get creative and things like that. But ideally, if we have a space here, we also can have a space somewhere in Northern Ontario as well, and be giving people opportunities. Because at one point, the region was dotted with theaters. There's still beautiful theaters all over in different communities, and it's unfortunately taken a dip. but we're hoping to keep bringing that back up,
raising it up.
keep raising it up, because no matter where you live, everyone's got stories to be told, and we've worked with some amazing people in Northern Ontario from all over, even as far up as Moosonee Moose Factory.
Yeah.
Like it's a really talented region, but it's just massive, and there's lack of infrastructure. So hopefully we can keep doing the work in both regions. That's what's important to me, is elevating voices, basically.
Yeah, ditto. Yeah, I think I don't even know what else is to say, honestly, because I think I'm newer addition to the Bird on Stage company. It's kind of been Garrett and Robert most of the time, and I have only recently, in the last couple of years, have been added. And it honestly, I feel, because I went to school for acting, and so I always felt that it's so hard. Obviously, it's so hard to make it in any artistic industry because but I feel like this is the path that I want to take, creating my own stage. I don't want to okay, of course I want to be hired by someone to act in their play, of course, but I want to I want to set the stage. I want to create the environment. I want to do the back end and the front end. I want to do it all and make everything together. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm just very excited to grow this company and to hopefully find all different venues of different places that we can tour and challenge ourselves with in everything.
I'd like to be an accountant. Yeah. No, so the same. For me, I just really like telling other people's story. And I'm so lucky to have talented friends who let me do that. And I'm just really lucky, and I hope for my life that I can just continue to tell people's stories and just help them create whatever image they have in mind. Okay.
Making my way downtown.
Faces passing, I'm homebound. That was so inspiring. Thank you so much. Are there any other thoughts before we sign off that you want to share about the show, about the process, anything at all? Oh, back, we'll run it this time.
Oh, no, you should have got it. I just wanted to say thank you for being a great interviewer. That was all. And I'll bring this.
Oh, we trade favors here. Wonderful. Anyone else before we sign off?
Sure, I'll just do one last one. I think this story of Pigeon is one that everyone in their own way can connect to. I think it's a haunting, horrific, and hilarious tale of... Yeah, nice. That's what I tried to do. Took me a second if you couldn't hear it. It's really about just what it means to not let that loneliness fester. And I think that, anyone who sees this, if you can, come check out the show. We're running at Assembly Theater, August 21st to the 24th. Shows every night, and on Sunday we have 2 shows. I don't think you want to miss it. I want to say a thank you to everyone sitting on these benches right now. That's including you, Daphne. And thank you, Jack. Woo! This is fantastic. I'm so excited for the show, and I couldn't be doing this with anyone better. So thank you. You?
One last thought, just on the company angle as well, in the spirit of building connections and stuff. I just want to encourage anyone that checks this out to reach out to us, and if whatever interest you have in theater, talk to us, and we'd love to collaborate and keep growing, or just talk. We can just talk about. We like theater. We can just talk about theater as well. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking forward to keep building those bridges. Yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful. Thank you all for joining me today. Let's build up the community. Woo. This is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson signing off. Oh, they've got their jacket. Watch the next video. It's pretty cool.
My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson. My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson. Watch the next video.
Watch the next video. It's pretty cool. Watch the next video.
My name is
It's
Daphne
pretty
St.
cool.
Clair
My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Watch the next video.